Hello everyone, Dan George here, bringing you an updated review on my Subaru Impreza. I did a review of my car a couple months back when the car was brand new. I bought this thing back in December. It's a 2015 base model Impreza, and I did a review on it. Very simple, basic review, just explaining the standard features on the vehicle and stuff like that. And but I've owned the car for about going on 6 months now, and you know, I've been through the winter with it, and I just wanted to bring you guys an updated review on the car. First thing I want to point out is I've got these Rock Blocks mud flaps for it. They're nice mud flaps. They really helped me this winter with all the salt on the road. It helped it from kicking up and scratching my paint and whatnot. So, like I said, they're the Rock Blocks brand, and this installation was very simple. Came with pretty good instructions. It was pretty self-explanatory, actually. Didn't really need the instructions, but you can see there's a screw back there in the corner. I picked the Rock Blocks over the Rally Armor. The Rally Armor mud flaps, if you're not familiar, they're like really flappy and flimsy. And these Rock Blocks are a little bit more rigid. They keep their composure a little bit, but they're still very flexible, and you know, they're a good mud flap. You know, I've you know, rubbed up against curbs parking, and I've actually bottomed out a couple times backing out of a driveway, and they just kind of flex with it and kind of just do what they need to do. They're very functional. They do a good job. Like I said, in this winter with all the salt on the roads, I could just hear the salt pounding against my mud flaps, and I knew that it wasn't kicking up on my doors, which made me pretty happy. The other thing, which I mentioned in my last video that I was going to get, were WeatherTech floor mats. I got them. They're great. You know, as you can see, they go up well underneath the pedals. They come up on the sides. They're great. They really protected the car. Like I said, wintertime, salt, they really protected the car well. So I'm happy with them. I got them for the rear also. Oops. You can see they fit in real nice. Yeah, so they really protect the carpets from, you know, your feet, whatever on the bottom of your shoes. You know, especially in the snow too, and rain, you get in and everything's wet. Perfect. They really protected it. So yeah, I mean, if you didn't see my first video, as I said before, it's a base model. It's a 5-speed. I got the thing for 17 grand. I traded in my Honda. That brought it to, the sticker price was around 20 something. Got them down a little bit. Traded in my Honda. I was at the door at like 17 grand for this thing. So really sweet deal. You know, I kind of wanted to get a WRX, but you know, I couldn't argue with the gas mileage numbers on this thing and the deal I got, so I just went with it. The color you see is called Venetian Red Pearl. It's a nice color. However, it does show some scratches and stuff. And the car was about a week old. I was on the highway, and I was behind an oil truck, and it kicked up some cinders. I mean, they're all over the hood. You can see them everywhere you look. Everywhere you look, there's little things. So I was really pissed about that. This color shows every little scratch. You can see there's scratches here, scratches there. I don't know what it just happened last night. I don't know what I ran over. Something kicked up, scratched my rocker panel. You know, I'm just like, this color really shows everything. When I bought the car, I was debating whether I should get a hatchback or not. I went with the sedan because I thought it looked a little bit better. Well, Christmas time rolled around right after I bought the thing. Got my father-in-law a nice Craftsman toolbox. Barely fit the thing in the trunk. The opening, you know, the opening is, you know, whatever it is from the weather stripping to weather stripping. Barely fit the thing in the back. So right then and there, I was wishing I had just gotten the hatchback. And then when there was snow on the ground and when it was below freezing out, I was trying to cross this little stream to get back into this parking lot area and there's two. It's a, you know, people drive through it all the time with a little concrete pad where the stream flows across, and you just drive through the stream. It's nothing deep and crazy, but there was ice built up on each side of the stream, as you can imagine. It was icy out. Front bumper bottomed out on the ice. Popped out this little clip. The whole bumper got popped out. I had to tuck it back under. Had to go to Subaru and get a clip. So at that point, man, I was really bumming. I was like, man, I should have just got an XV Crosstrek. Would have had the hatchback. Would have had that extra ground clearance. Would have had nice 18-inch wheels. But I have a base model sedan. I'm still rocking out with the steel wheels and hubcaps. As I stated in my last video, once these tires wear out, and I'm in no rush to do it, but once these tires wear out and I'm ready for tires, I'm gonna get the decided on the 16-inch alloy wheels that come on the premium model. Those ones with all the like almost like spoke wheels. I think they look pretty nice, so I'm gonna get a set of those for this thing. It should look really nice. Real quick, while I'm still on the outside of the car, in case you didn't see my last video, just a couple facts about the 15 Imprezas over the 14s. They have the redesigned fog light bezels with the chrome accent there. I like them. I think they look nice. It really complements the chrome grille, having that extra chrome up front. The 14s didn't have the chrome on the fog light bezels, and so I think it looks pretty nice. Also for 15 is the lip on the trunk lid, the little spoiler lip thing. Looks pretty nice, enhances the looks a little bit. Front had all this chrome, the rear had no chrome, so what I did was I bought this little license plate frame, STI. Looks pretty nice. I actually had to, it didn't come with holes in the bottom. I actually drilled it out myself and used these plastic washers there, so it keeps it from, when you close the trunk lid, it doesn't flap against the trunk lid and scratch the paint or anything. It stays nice and solid and sturdy. It doesn't move around or anything. Let me see what else oh yeah, I bought a little plate for the front. Stainless steel. It said STI on it, and I'm like looking at my car and I'm like, there's too much STI stuff on a standard Impreza, so I flipped it around and I just put a Rally Team logo on there. So yeah, moving on to the interior. Another STI thing. I got a nice shift knob. It's got the same brushed metal look, same kind of matches the dashboard up here. So I thought it looked pretty nice, leather. Couple complaints with the infotainment screen here. Sometimes, it doesn't happen all the time, but once in a blue moon, it acts a little funny, gets a little glitchy every now and then. When I have my, so I have it set up here. So get, the USB port is down in here. It's the only USB port the car has, and it's in the center console. So what I do is I just plug my phone in. I have an iPhone. Plug it in, close the console, leave it in there. Everything comes up onto the screen. My playlist, my artists, songs, everything comes up on the screen, and you can just navigate through there, navigate through the menu using either controls here, and it's a touchscreen, obviously. Sometimes it'll get a little funny, and sometimes all the songs won't show up on there, or sometimes I'll start the car and the screen doesn't boot up, it just stays black for some reason. Anyway, it doesn't happen all the time. Once in a blue moon, like I said, it just, the screen acts a little funny, and you have to turn the car off, let it sit for a minute, turn the car back on, which really sucks. That's the complaint there. The gas mileage, it actually just went down to 24.9. It was just at 25.2. I've been averaging mid-20s around town. That's all around town, that 24.9. Mid-20s all around town. Gets mid-30s on the highway. I actually got 37 on the highway. It was the highest I've ever got, which is, you can't complain with that. It's an all-wheel drive vehicle. So yeah, gas mileage ain't bad. The other thing, one thing I want to point out, the vehicle dynamics control, okay, which for those who don't know what it is, it's kind of like a stability control. So when you're driving down the road and the car, let's say you hit an ice patch and the car wants to slide, kick out, once it gets to a certain amount of degrees off center, it throws the brakes on, it totally straightens the vehicle out, which is a really nice safety feature. You know, for when you're just driving down the road and you hit an ice patch, boom, it's great safety feature. But when you want to have fun and do donuts, what you have to do is you have to turn the car off. See this fuse in here? The 7.5 amp fuse. It's the one on the very bottom. You gotta take it out. You gotta take the fuse out, and then what that does is that disables the VDC, the stability control. It disables traction control, it disables ABS brakes, and it disables cruise control. Which kind of stinks because, you know, what I found myself doing was, you know, I kind of, you know, when it snows out, I like to go out and do donuts and stuff. So I'll be like on my way to work, and you know, in the middle of a snowstorm or whatever, I'll be on the way to work, and you know, I'll pass by a parking lot and I want to mess around a little bit, and then continue on my way to work. And it's a pain in the ass to have to turn the car off, take the fuse out, mess around, turn the car back off, put the fuse back in, start the car back up, you know. Because when I'm on the way to work and I'm driving down the snowy road, I'd like to have my ABS brakes and all my safety features, you know, stability control and all that stuff. So it's a shame that you can't just turn it off, you know, and turn it back on. There is a button for traction control to turn that on and off, but I don't know, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think it turns it off 100%. I think it lets you have a little bit of wheel spin for those instances where you might be, you know, parallel parked on the side of the road. You might be a little bit plowed in or whatever. It just gives you a little bit of wheel spin in case you're like semi-stuck. So, but yeah, you can't do any donuts. You can't take the car sideways or anything like that with that fuse in for the stability control. So, you know, just things to keep in mind if you're looking at these things to buy. If you're the kind of guy that, you know, is going to be taking this thing off road and doing donuts and drifting, and you might want to just get a WRX. I kind of wish I just got a WRX, but like I said earlier, I couldn't argue with the gas mileage numbers. I got a really good deal on it, so I just went with the standard Impreza. I'm trying to think what else I could go over here. Comfort, I've had this thing on a couple long trips so far. I got my seat adjusted the way I like it. The thing's very comfortable on the road. It's drives very smooth, shifts very nice. The headrests are adjustable for whatever you like. The thing's very comfortable. The seats are nice and comfy. And this is the base model, man. It doesn't have heated seats or anything like that, but it's a very comfortable car. Very nice. We're getting into the warmer weather now. The air conditioning works phenomenal. The heat worked great all winter long. I don't even think I had the blower on 4. I never needed it. It just works so nice. Trying to think what else. Yeah, I've been in a couple bad rainstorms. The wipers work really nice. You know, I don't know. Just I really don't have too many complaints besides sometimes the touchscreen gets a little glitchy, freezes up sometimes. But I think I was reading reviews on a couple other cars like Hyundai Elantras and stuff like that, and it's not too uncommon to have your touchscreen freeze up every now and then. So yeah, I'm not too worried about it as long as it doesn't keep happening excessively. Oh yeah, the other thing I want to point out about pulling that fuse. There's a lot of guys on the forums and everything, and they hook up a little switch inline on off that fuse panel, and they mount it. I forget which square they mount the switch, and a little toggle switch. That's all cool and all, except my car's still under warranty, and I don't want to bring this thing into the dealership and then look at that and be like, oh, what the heck, this guy just, you know, does donuts in the car. You know, it's still under warranty, so I don't want to come in with any goofy switches rigged up or anything like that. So I'm gonna hold off on that. God, I'm trying to think what else to go over here. I think I've covered everything. Like I said, not too many complaints. Other than the ground clearance, I wish I had gotten. I knew, you know, I wasn't buying a Forester or an Outback when I got it. I knew it was going to have a low ground clearance. I just didn't think I was going to have too many problems with it. I don't really go off-roading in it. But, you know, it would have been nice to get something with some ground clearance. If you're the type of person you find yourself, you know, off the beaten path every now and then, you might just want to get a cross trek, or you might just want to look at a Forester or something like that, so you have a little bit of ground clearance. Other than that, yeah, the steel wheels, they look a little bit lame. So like I said, I'm going to get some premium wheels for it when I need tires. Yeah, I'm not going to make the video any more boring. So I'm going to sign off. Comment in the video. Let me know if you have any questions or what you think. If you haven't seen my first video, go ahead and check it out. Alright, have a good one, guys.